We're good. All right, hello guys.
Hey guys.
Welcome back. Welcome back to me and Kaki. Chopped chili cheese from me tonight, and Kaki's got a chicken cutlets sandwich.
Chicken cutlet sandwich on hero bread.
She's actually gonna start the show off because I purposely didn't talk about what happened last night because I didn't want to say things that was wrong and certain things I couldn't even pronounce. So let's start the show off with you explaining what you got for dinner. I'll tell you guys what I did to mine, and then we could go into the debacle of what happened to us yesterday.
Okay, so
Crystal, Mama Llama,
there's a whole
Justin,
bunch of people in
Tracy,
there.
J Rock, Bax, Justin.
Hello guys.
I don't want to ignore anybody.
I made a chicken cutlet sandwich. Homemade chicken cutlets, of course. Lettuce, tomato, onions, mayo, American cheese, and Swiss cheese. And then I have macaroni salad. Where are you going? To the bathroom. Okay.
I know. No, I didn't want to.
Gotcha.
Shut his door a little bit just so he doesn't hear the conversation.
Yeah, I told them what I had.
Okay, and now I have chopped cheeses, but I added chili. Wendy's, of course. That's my favorite chili.
Christy's
Macaroni
favorite.
salad,
Just kidding.
and then buffalo hot wings chips, which was my favorite years ago. And then they stopped making them, and then they came back, and I picked them up, and I've been excited. This is supposed to be last night's dinner, but we decided to go to the hospital for almost 12 hours.
Almost 8 hours.
8 hours. And
Just
didn't
shy of
happen.
8 hours.
Yeah.
Ugh.
How are you doing, Kaki?
Okay, so you said you didn't really get into anything?
They don't know.
Okay.
Other than Cortland and Munchkin knows what happened, and Emmy. They're the only three that know.
Okay.
So
I worked yesterday, normal shift, completely fine at work. Came home, had something to eat, and I laid down to take a nap.
mm-hmm.
And I was tossing and turning a bunch, couldn't get comfortable, felt like I couldn't breathe. So then I finally fell asleep for maybe a half an hour, and I was woken up to my heart just racing. It was doing one of these out of nowhere. I wasn't doing anything crazy. I was literally taking a nap. So I got up and I came downstairs and I told his mom and our sister-in-law what was going on. So they're like, oh, take your blood pressure. I don't know if this cuff isn't right. I forgot to bring it with me to the doctor. I have to bring it with me next time. So the cuff said my blood pressure wasn't crazy. It was high-ish, but it wasn't crazy. It was like 139 over 86, I think it was, or something like that. And my heart rate was 115. But I was just sitting there doing nothing. So I just sat there for a good 15 minutes. Our sister-in-law has an oximeter that goes in your finger. And
She's pregnant too.
Yeah, and it was calibrated by a doctor because she needs it for her brother. So we put that on my finger just to make sure that was my accurate heart rate, which it was. My heart rate was 115 beats per minute at resting. And I was like that until about 7 o'clock, to where I said to Jamie, I was like, I think we need to go to the hospital because I don't like how this feels. And it just didn't feel right. So called ahead to the hospital, labor and delivery, to see if I should go there, if I should go to the emergency room. So we called and they said, just come to labor and delivery. If you go to emergency, they're just gonna send you up here anyway. So we get there, we go to labor and delivery. They're like, well, why didn't you go to emergency? You should just go to emergency. So I looked at the woman and I was just like, we called, they said to come here. She goes, oh, no. You got to go to emergency because they're going to want to do an EKG and blood work. And if they see the need for it, they'll send you up here. So I was like, all right. So we go down to the emergency department to where I had an EKG. They did my blood pressure, which blood pressure cuff was definitely off because my blood pressure was 125 over 72, so that was normal. But my heart rate was still 115 beats per minute. So then they gave me an IV, they took some blood, and I sat back out in the waiting room until they put me in a room to where we waited for what felt like 100 years for the doctor to come in and finally say, oh, well, I think you need more blood work, and to rule out blood clots, we want to give you a CAT scan of your chest to make sure there's no blood clots. You don't have a pulmonary embolism, because my heart rate would not come down. And
because of Kaki's age going through a pregnancy, they wanted to rule out certain things.
So long story short, my blood work came back.
Oh, no. We're not making this.
Oh, no. We're gonna make the long story short, and then we're gonna get to the crazy ass people that were in the emergency department.
There was quite a few, 3 actually.
So long story short, my blood work came back fine. My CAT scan came back fine. They don't know why my heart rate was what it was, so they referred me to a cardiologist, which I will be calling tomorrow to make that appointment. And we got home at 5:30 this morning.
With McDonald's
breakfast, because that was the only fucking place that was open at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
everything was closed.
You know, I did a little bit of talking last night or this morning when I was live, but we didn't have the monitors hooked up. So anybody that was in here, and as I know that there were a couple of you guys that were, I couldn't read. I could barely read on the monitor. So it's like I wound up stopping the live stream after like 5 minutes because I felt not embarrassed, uncomfortable that I couldn't read what people were saying. And I didn't know if I was being insulted. I didn't know if people were asking, how are you doing? Hope everything is okay, which was like 80% of it. But I wound up stopping it because I felt very weird. And
there was no way I was streaming after all of that.
No, Kaki came home,
eating and I'm going to bed.
While Kaki was eating, I showered.
Yeah, I didn't even bother showering. I just changed my clothes and went to bed.
I don't go to bed dirty.
I don't care. I was so tired.
And
I was up since 5 o'clock yesterday morning.
I know.
So other than that, I'm back to normal. I mean, I woke up this morning, well, this afternoon technically.
We both
woke up around like 1 o'clock with a really bad headache, probably from my heart rate being so high for so long. But other than that, I feel fine. I happen to think, and the only thing that they didn't run for blood work was my thyroid. And I happen to think my thyroid is the culprit. But I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I have to call my regular doctor. No, friend, they want me to go to a cardiologist. So I'll be calling the cardiologist tomorrow.
She did have to call her regular doctor.
I had to call my OB, but I hung up the phone after I was on hold for 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Jamie, no fruit punch. No. With being in the hospital and kind of not having the time to do like our normal shit, I could not, I wasn't able to make it. So Coca-Cola is always a great backup plan. And when you're doing cheesesteaks and chili, it's like, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I know, Fran, I need to check my thyroid because it can cause that. And I told the ER doctor that they just adjusted my medication. Like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks ago, they adjusted my medication. And I said that to him, but he didn't think that had anything to do with it, which I happen to think that's what it was. But he was convinced I had a pulmonary embolism. He was convinced.
He wanted to rule it out. He was very nice. He was young. He was very young. And, you know, I liked him. We had 2 different doctors. By the time we got the results and the discharge papers, he was going home, and we had a woman doctor.
Had another lady.
I like them.
I just closed that. Yeah, I know.
Also, when he was giving us information, we had a guy outside the room.
A drunk, belligerent guy that they were trying to put on a psych hold.
Swearing up and down he didn't kill anybody.
Swearing up and down he didn't kill anybody.
And then 15, 20 minutes prior to that, we had a big old dude named...
A transgender woman.
Well...
Named Stacy. Who, Stacy did not like to wear underwear.
No. Walked past
Stacy's
bare ass with the gown and everything.
With her gown on. No underwear. Full fucking moon. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. Too many times.
Too many times. The last 2 times, he did have a leopard pink thong. Craziness. I swear, I've never been in a hospital where we got so many characters. Because the guy that was drunk and was swearing up and down he didn't kill anybody, he was fighting the security and right outside of our room.
Yeah, he literally swung at the security guard, missed, and smacked, hit the floor. And that's when they got him on the gurney and, like, strapped him down. Got him the fuck out of there. Right in front of my room.
Hey, Albert. I was kind of scared because comments were saying they were worried about you too, especially since the consistency.
With no post,
it
was freaky.
was kind of freaky. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm very good. 7 years, over 7 years, I'm doing this every single night. Don't miss posts, never miss a live. I didn't miss a live, but I didn't post anything because, you know, I always put this stream up on a pedestal, and I put this show in very, you know, important status. But last night was like the first night where it was me, Kaki, and Charlie.
Yeah.
And that's all I cared about. And I was very pissed off of the amount of time we had to stay in that fucking hospital last night.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
But I wasn't mad at Kaki. I wasn't mad at the whole thing that's going on. I'd rather be safe than sorry. And you know what? When, you know, push comes to shove, I still did do it, right? It was very late, but I still did do it. So you guys that reached out to me and Kaki and sent us messages and text messages.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
Knowing that, hey, something's up and awry because it's not normal. Thank you very much. And then for you guys that do know what we're doing and just decided to say, fuck off, like, I'll just wait. You can kick rocks and you know who you are. But thank you guys.
I'm fine right now.
You know who you are.
I'm fine. The baby's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'll know more when I go to the cardiologist. They're probably going to give me a heart monitor to wear for a week or whatever.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Hello, Munchkin.
Hello,
you
Mom.
do your jog videos, a pre-dinner video, then the full video. I was nervous. Yeah, no, the running video. All right. So
I do not have high blood pressure. I don't.
Yesterday I was gonna go on 2 runs. The first one was with my son, and then the second one was gonna be with my daughter. I was gonna film my running video on the second one because the first one was earlier in the day, and I was more concerned about my son trying to get into running because he quit track after the first day, and he quit. He quit this run too, and I didn't film it. The second one, which is what was going to be content, was with my daughter. I never got to do because my mom said she needs to go to the hospital. I think she's going to go to the hospital, and I kind of, because I knew I was in for a long night. Didn't think it was going to be long night into morning, but
I didn't think it was going to be like that either. I really didn't. I really thought, number one, I was going to stay in labor and delivery.
my biggest thing was when we got the final, the CAT scan back.
Yeah.
My biggest thing was they're gonna send us to delivery.
Labor and delivery. Yeah.
And then go through the whole
But
nother saga.
But here's the thing. The baby was fine. I wasn't cramping. I wasn't bleeding. She was moving around like normal, so they weren't worried about the baby. They were worried about me.
I was worried about you, of course.
I wasn't. If I didn't feel the baby moving, then I would have said something.
Yeah. I've never been in a position to be scared, and that's why I didn't put anything out. That's why I didn't want to make last night about attention. I didn't need the attention, right? I didn't want Kaki to have the attention. I didn't want to, I didn't want like a sympathy thing. Once I knew Kaki was good to go, CAT scans, EKGs, everything came back good, and then I put the story up because I was at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, they just said I had tachycardia, which is an elevated heart rate. They don't know what caused it.
That hospital, man. Hard-ass plastic chair that you sit in at school.
The bed was no better. The bed was no better.
I tried getting in the bed with you.
There was no room.
That's what she
said. That was a tiny-ass bed. It's not like a full-blown hospital bed. It was an ER stretcher. Tiny-ass little bed.
You
want to know Stacy's story? Oh,
you don't.
Let me tell you something. Stacy was a hungry bitch. She just wanted food.
Well, we were in the waiting room with Stacy.
We were in the waiting room with Stacy, asking for water. Then she was announcing she had to go to the bathroom, and then
Stacy looked like, and I'm not playing with you. Stacy looked like Owen Wilson, 200 pounds overweight, at 50 years old, wearing Daisy Dukes.
And a tank top, and it was fucking cold out.
And it was cold out. I was in shorts and a hoodie, so I know. Did I know that Stacy was going to wind up being
our neighbor?
Our neighbor?
No.
And
did we know that Stacy was going to soil herself multiple times, and the nurse comes in, and she's like, "What's that on the floor?" "It's water." "No, it's not." It was piss. Stacy pissed all over the floor. Not only that, then Stacy pissed all over the bathroom.
I had a towel on her or him, whatever.
It was.
I didn't want to be blamed.
Her.
The bathroom was right by the nursing station, so I walked in
I don't want to find out.
And it wasn't dark urine. It was light.
Stacy was hydrated.
She was hydrated. But I'm like, I don't want to walk out and then be blamed.
Them thinking that you peed all over.
So I went right to the nurse. I'm like, hey, listen, I don't usually tattletale, but I don't want to be blamed for it. Because our room was right across from the bathroom. And I'm like, the big dude that is walking around with a thong was in there before me. Left a bit of a mess. I don't want you guys to think it's going to be me because I'm drinking coffee all night long. So the last thing I want anybody to think is like, oh, this dirty fuck is just like just pissing all over the seats. Wasn't me. So she goes, okay, I'll get. She said it's a fancy word for like housekeeping. Okay. And I told Kaki, I'm like, he fucking peed all over the damn seat. And I had to pee, right? But I didn't want to be blamed for it.
Yeah, I was hungry. I was starving. But I didn't know if I was allowed to eat anything.
And that's another thing. This stream would not have happened if we stayed in the hospital all night.
Mm-mm.
Because I stayed with Kaki the whole night until she started falling asleep. I had to leave to get a charger. And then once we were just bored, I was on TikTok and Instagram and scrolling through videos.
I wasn't on my phone.
No, Kaki was like sleeping. Once I knew we were in for the long haul, and we had what did we wait for the CAT scan? 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Yeah, wait a long time.
Once Kaki came back from it, I'm like, okay, so once these results come in, we're either getting released or we're getting transferred somewhere else. when she comes back, I'm gonna go to 7-Eleven and I'm gonna get another cup of coffee and I'm gonna stretch and vape and just relax because she was sleeping anyway. Um, she finally texted or called me and said, "Hey, I'm getting released." I'm like, "Oh, thank God." She goes, "Everything is okay." I said, "I'm 5 minutes up the road. When they give you your papers, I'll drive up," which they did. And I drove up and I picked her up. I was only gone for 25 minutes, half an hour.
I don't even know I was sleeping.
Yeah.
No idea
And
how long I was gone.
I said, "Do you want to eat with me tonight?" And she said, "No." I said, "You got to eat something." And she goes, "I just want to go to sleep." I said, "You don't have to stream with me, but eat something." So she got a breakfast sandwich from McDonald's. I got what I had last night or this morning with you guys, and then quick stream. I showered first because I won't go to bed dirty. I'll take a cold sponge bath outside in the winter. I can't go to sleep dirty.
Yes, Renee, I'm okay. The baby's okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's okay.
She's making a doctor's appointment tomorrow.
Yeah. It's kind of like, I'm kind of glad my job screwed me for the next 2 weeks.
Why?
Only gave me one day each week. Now I can make my appointment, not have to worry about, oh, I can't do it this time, can't do it that time. You know what I mean?
I don't give two shits about your job. If you have to get an appointment in while, like even if they said, "Hey, we can't fit you in," Kaki's only day of work this week is Tuesday. We only have Tuesday at 11 o'clock. Guess what?
Oh, I would
Fuck
take
it.
Tuesday at 11 o'clock,
Yeah,
obviously.
fuck it. I really don't care. I got brothers and my parents. Like, your job don't come first when
No,
it
it
comes
does
to
not.
so.
My job never comes first. Yeah, Stacy's not okay. That's right, Court. Stacy's not okay.
Stacy had some big old. I think her issue why he was there was because of the feet.
I don't know.
Those feet were swollen. I have to think it had to be something with that.
I don't know. What is my heart rate now? Well, I don't. It says it's 91, which they said anything between.
Thank you.
What was it? 70 and 100 is considered normal. I was over 100. I was over 100 for 3-4 hours before it started coming down, and I was in the 90s.
Yeah, Munchkin. Last night was the first night in almost 8 years of doing the show where I always thought of somehow, and I could have streamed live because we had great Wi-Fi from the hospital.
Yeah, hospital had wonderful Wi-Fi.
Very good Wi-Fi, but I didn't want to do it until I knew everything was okay. So
I
last
wouldn't
night
have
was
let you do it because I was.
No, but
I was nervous. I was very nervous.
Yeah, I could have also left the second
True.
time to do it at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, you could have done that.
I didn't want to do it. I didn't, and I'm sure you guys understand. You know, family always comes first, and I was extremely worried and scared and thought about the worst, which I talked to you guys about this morning.
Excuse me.
You know, me and Kaki comes first, and our kids and Charlie and my family. So it's like it was a big eye opener, which you hear someone say that and like, oh, that should always be first. Yes, I agree. But it was the first I actually felt it where I didn't care about the show. I cared about Kaki being okay because you start thinking about the fucking worst. And I'm not going to go into details.
Yeah.
I just wanted everything to be okay for us to get discharged and go forward with it.
I just wish it would have been done in more of a timely manner.
Not come. Yeah, no, I was, you know, when we have the baby, that's a different story. It's not an emergency where we're worried. We're gonna do the stream at the hospital, but when it comes to like emergencies and stuff, and like Kaki's health and the baby's health, like I don't know, it's a very weird night. You probably went down a rabbit hole. You've got no idea. And TikTok took me down a rabbit hole itself with different kinds of shit. I got videos. All right, everybody knows what a for you page is, right? I told Kaki about this morning. My for you page is it usually consists of bodybuilding, wrestling, and then girls. Um, I don't know why, and I don't know how it happened, but my for you page on TikTok became fart pranks, um,
It's almost like TikTok knew.
milfs, and so what is it? Incest? Like, oh, I blew, well, not incest, but I blew my brother's, I blew my sister's boyfriend, kind of stuff. Uh, and monkeys.
And monkeys.
like yeah, very weird, and different people from like all across the world, live streaming, and it was like completely normal daytime. I was like, because it was so late.
Right?
Very weird.
Right, Anne? I know, I would have. What were my symptoms? I had, my heart rate was really high. Well, not really
agree
high.
with that.
115 for me is high. Normally my resting heart rate is like mid 80s. 115 for me is high.
If me and Kaki never got good news that everything was okay, the show wouldn't have happened last night. I didn't care about the show. I didn't
Thank you,
care about
guys.
social media. I didn't care about anything. I cared about Kat and I cared about Charlie. And you know, I just anybody that watches me enough knows I'm
Oh, good night.
very consistent
Thank
with
you.
everything on social media, stories, posts, all that stuff. So if there's a night where you don't get shit from me, and I'm not making anything, no one knows, something's not right, and I don't feel comfortable trying to put on a facade that everything is okay, and everything was not okay last night. That's why you didn't get nothing from me.
Yeah, Renee, I do have a thyroid issue, and I don't know why they didn't do any blood work for my thyroid, because I did tell that to the doctor. So, I don't know. When I go to the cardiologist,
Yeah, I messaged.
I'm going to make sure he knows all about it.
I feel like I need to be there because they were asking you questions last night, and I had to correct you a couple of times.
With?
Well, they kept on saying heart palpitations.
Oh,
which you
yeah, I
didn't
know.
have.
I don't know why they kept saying that.
And you kept on like going with it. And I said, you don't have heart palpitations. You have high blood. You have high heart speed.
Heart rate.
I feel like I need to go.
Okay, Renee. Jamie, you guys got me scared. I knew something wasn't right. Yeah, I kind of figured
Yeah.
I would hear from you.
So-
Myself.
And we're surprised that we didn't hear from certain people.
I don't really care about it. I really don't.
No, I mean certain people. I'm very shocked about. And then certain people I know you don't watch us at night. You watch us the next day, which I saw the comments.
Baby's due in July.
Yeah. But anybody that reached out personally through like a message request, Emmy was actually the first person, but she had no idea. She just said, "Miss you. Hope everything is okay."
Justin, no worries. He didn't mean you.
I hate when I do that because people automatically think it's them, and that's not the case. Certain people that I know what we do. Not you, Justin.
Why did I go to the ER? My heart rate was 115 at resting, and it woke me up out of a dead sleep. So I went to the ER to make sure everything was okay. And 8 hours later, they couldn't give me an answer.
She even came around the corner, and I'm like, "Wow, what are you doing up? I didn't have to wake you up." And then she told me, and then I left for a minute. Not for a
Yeah, you went with
minute,
your brother.
meaning what?
You were gone for like 20, 30
I went
minutes.
to go get my vodka and Chinese food. And then I came home, and my mom's like, she needs to go to the hospital. And I rolled my eyes, not mad at Kat, but I'm like, fuck me. In the butt with nothing fucking lube-wise. I knew it was going to be a long night. I did not think it was going to be as long as it did, but I'm happy that, we did it. It was just me and Kat. Uncomfortable and, crazy, scary, and worried as it is, it was just me and Kat. And when we got released, and it was just me and Kaki driving home, those are always my favorite times, is when it's just me and her. And there's no responsibility. Regardless if it's a couple of hours or if it's an hour, it feels like it's just me and Kat. And, as stressful and as tired some last night was, stopping to get gas, and then stopping at McDonald's, it was just me and Kat talking, bullshitting. I knew she wasn't going to eat with me, which is fine. I showered. And, I watched, one match from AEW last night, and then I went to bed myself. We both slept in, and we had a good day together.
Yeah, I was out as soon as my head hit the pillow. I was out.
Oh.
I was tired.
Aw. Back says aw with 3 hearts. Hello, Sheila. That's always my favorite time when it's just me and Kat.
It doesn't happen a lot.
It never happens. So when it does happen, even in like bad scenarios and like shitty situations, I always try to make the best out of a crappy. Like I even made a joke to Kat when we were in McDonald's drive-thru, and I gave her garbage of my 7-Eleven coffee cups, and there was a big garbage can, and I'm like, do me a favor. There's a garbage can right there. Why don't you get out of the car and throw this out?
I looked at her, I'm not fucking getting up.
I was playing with her. She's like, hey, I'm not getting out of this car. I'm like, do you really think I would want you to do that? I was just playing with you. Hello, Brown Eyes. How are you, Kaki and Charlie?
Glad you're okay. Thank you, Brown Eyes.
Do you think I was serious, though? Like, do you remember me asking you that? The garbage?
Yes.
You knew I was joking, or were you... Like, this motherfucker's serious right now?
I thought you were serious for a second.
No.
I was like, I'm not fucking getting up. Randolph messaged me back when I saw Jamie stream on YouTube. Oh yeah, no. I didn't message anybody when I was on the way home. I just kind of like vegetated.
I can tell you that I messaged back.
I didn't see Bax's message, and when I did, it was
Bax
late.
was the first one that I
I don't check TikTok like that, and I don't get notifications for messages.
I don't either. I just saw requests, and Bax was the first. Well, first I saw a comment that she left, and then I saw that she had a message request, which I replied to, and I let her know. And then there was a couple of other people that I did too, but and then Emmy, but Emmy had no clue.
Emmy was just saying hello.
I think you guys know by now. Regardless, I'm gonna pull out of it, and if it's late, it's gonna be late. If I had to go on at 10:30 this morning,
It's all good, Bex. No worries.
no, Bax, it makes me feel good. You made me happy. I think you were the first message I saw that knew something was up. So if anything, it makes me feel very good. I don't get annoyed or anything like that. If no one would have did anything, it would have been like, what me and Kaki do don't mean shit, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, if anything, it makes me feel good when someone knows something's different and knows something is, wrong. Hey.
Renee, I'm just reading the message you sent me. I'm already on medication for my thyroid. They just upped my medication for my thyroid because my T4 was low. So they gave
macaroni salad away
I did.
in our fridge.
Yes, I did.
Son of a
So my
bitch.
T4 was low. So they started me on. Wow. All right.
Are you gonna eat it?
I was eating it.
All right, I'll go get it then.
So they started me on levothyroxine. They started me on 25. So I went for repeat blood work to make sure, it was working. And it was working, but it wasn't working as fast as the doctor would like it to work. So they upped my dosage, and I've been taking it for like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks now. So I happen to think that's why I experienced what I experienced. So I don't know why. They just didn't test my thyroid function, but I will be making sure the cardiologist knows about it. And when I go back for my prenatal appointment, which is April 7th, I'm going to discuss that with my OB, and I'm going to request more thyroid blood work, even though I go again in 3 weeks for more blood work.
Are you going to the doctor's tomorrow, or are you making an appointment
I'm
tomorrow?
making an appointment tomorrow. Don't know if they can get me in tomorrow. If they can, I'll go.
All right, well, you gotta let me know, because I need to be there for it. I feel like
I didn't think you were going to have more. That's why I put it away.
No, that's okay.
That I don't speak up?
You don't speak up. There were certain things that I had to keep on doing,
Well,
and it reminds me of something that, I just need to know when you're gonna go. Tommy, if you're watching this, that's my boss. If it happens tomorrow, guess what, pal? I'm going home. It's going to be some short notice, but it has to be done that way. And my mom and my sister-in-law were on the phone with us last night, and I had no battery charge, so I was rude, and I said I got to go because I knew I had to go to 7-Eleven or closest
gas
thing
station
to get something, and they were asking all questions, and Kaki was giving them answers, and they were talking about an app,
the patient portal.
whatever the fuck it is.
Well, that's how I read all my blood work. Before the doctor even came in.
Yeah, well, I know certain things. I pay attention to it. I know you don't believe. Just because I choose to not hear certain things. The important things I always do hear. My mom is the best with that shit. She is, and you know that.
Didn't say she was.
My brother had to go to the doc in the box today. He might have pneumonia.
He doesn't have pneumonia.
He has something going on.
He's got a cold. It's not pneumonia.
And the doctor didn't do certain things. And my mom's like, who'd you go see? Give me his name. I'll go there right now. Or I'll go there tomorrow. I'll call somebody tomorrow. He's not going to work tomorrow. And, yeah, I'm not good with being that like voice in the corner. My mom's the best at it. You know that.
Oh, you brought down Molly? How nice of you. Hi, Molly.
Right?
Yeah.
That's why I'm thinking for Charlie, maybe me being at the hospital for 3 days, maybe we do a little killer bee action, you know what I mean? I tag in and out with my mom.
No.
First nights with
Nope.
her.
Nope.
Okay.
Hello, Tanya. Hello, Bella. In advance where I'm sitting here in the dark.
B. Brian Blair.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. There's a lot of shit going around. That's another thing they did. They gave me a nasal swab that tested for everything under the fucking sun.
Uh-huh.
All these viruses, all different types of flu, all different types of COVID. It was negative for everything.
Yeah, good.
Jimmy, you did this discussion before. Same answer. I know. He
I
doesn't learn.
I just don't forget.
He just keeps trying. Answer ain't gonna change. I'm doing July.
It's still going to be a triple threat. My mom's going to be there.
Well, obviously she's gonna come up there, but you're staying the whole time. The whole time? The whole time.
You bitch. What the fuck are you pulling out Miss Doubtfire for?
Because that just popped into my head when I said it.
The whole time.
It just popped into my head as I was saying it.
Oh, you crazy. The whole time. The whole time. Never, ever, ever would I have repeated that scene. And I've done some Miss Doubtfire scenes before, but never would have been that one that you just pulled out.
That was one of the funniest scenes where she's going through all of her emotions.
Oh, you son of a bitch. Yeah, see, I always say Kaki's not funny, but when she is funny, she's fucking a hoot. I love Sally Fields.
Yeah, I love her too.
My milk, Mrs. Doubtfire.
A big steak sandwich? No, that's not what Jamie has.
It's a chopped chili cheese. I'm not eating the second half.
I didn't think so. That was a beefy sandwich.
I made my dad.
That's right, my milk. In case he didn't know. Now he knows.
The whole time? What, with my mom?
She told your ass.
Yeah, no. I just, you know what, certain things, like me as an adult, can be very harmful that I do, make food-wise. And Kaki is usually the one that corrects me. I don't know how I got hair.
That's definitely your hair. I didn't touch your food.
Kaki usually corrects me on it, and it could be pretty darn bad. And I know, you know, I felt very, I didn't save the world or anything last night, but when a nurse or a doctor asks you something and you don't give them the right answer, I felt good chiming in. And
Well, I would do it for you.
I know you did. I know you would. You always do. Kaki usually answers my questions and fills out my paperwork with anything doctor related. I was just very shocked that you went along with what they were saying and I had to chime in. And then, you know, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was just the heart palpitation thing. That was the only thing.
But it's different than compared to being, you know, a fast heartbeat. That's not
Yeah.
the same thing.
Sometimes I do get palpitations, but not yesterday.
I'm just saying I need to be at the. I need to be there for the next one. Whether it's tomorrow or not.
Hello,
you need to
holy
let me know.
smoke.
And I'll tell my boss tomorrow morning if his ass shows up to work. I hope you fucking watch this and you're laughing like this motherfucker.
Well, tomorrow's the first of the month. They should be there, right?
No, I barely see him anymore. He's got his own shit going on. So I was like, I understand, but you need to let me know about tomorrow when you make the doctor's
No,
appointment.
you know, I'm gonna call around 9 o'clock. How do I feel now? I feel fine.
Stromboli? No.
That's a sandwich.
Chopped cheese. The whole time, Jamie? Come on, Justin. You're gonna make me re-laugh again because Kaki never pulls out movie quotes.
No, I don't.
Ever. And to pull out a classic like Sally Fields and Miss Doubtfire at the perfect timing, that might be the best Kaki's ever
It
done.
just popped in my head.
Yeah, well, you knocked it out of the park. That was probably the funniest thing you've ever done to me that I understood.
Oh, thank you, Lisa Marie.
Yeah, slap some big skin on that one. You did good.
Yeah, the whole, that's right. Every day, remind Jamie the whole time.
Craziness.
What do you do for work? I work in customer service.
I strip. And I'm a truck driver. Jamie, what's the difference in what? The palpitations and fast heartbeat? Well,
Palpitations is when your heart skips.
I've had palpitations when I had my anxiety issues a long time.
I get palpitations sometimes.
Nice shirt, Jamie. Thank you. I just got this today from Walmart. Oh my goodness. When it comes to the heart.
Oh, it's the 31st. Oh, tomorrow's not the 1st.
What happened?
Oh, because
It's the 31st. Oh.
with a what?
With a fat?
With a fat. Oh, tomorrow's the 31st. You're right. You're right on that.
Max, I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you're talking about the heart palpitations and then the fast heart beating, but 12 years ago, I had I was in the hospital like every night. Not every night. That's being a little bit over exaggerating, but like
You were in the hospital a
three or
lot.
4 times a night because my anxiety was so bad that I thought I was having a heart attack and I thought there was something seriously wrong with me, to the point where I was like, I remember this night specifically, I was crying, thinking I had to throw up, knowing there's something wrong with me. My mom came over, my aunt came over, they wound up taking me to the hospital. And I don't know if that was the time where they prescribed me with the 3 different medications that messed up my downstairs working part.
Yeah.
But I was obsessed with what worked, and I think I started drinking before that, so maybe that was after.
You use alcohol as a band-aid. That was
I'm
your
sorry,
problem.
that was the question. What's the difference
Between fast heart rate and
palpitations?
Palpitations when your heart skips a beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, your heart.
My
like,
mom
skips.
has like AFib.
Well, she doesn't have it anymore.
She had surgery.
She had
and
an
stuff
ablation.
Yeah.
And she doesn't have AFib anymore. But isn't your heart rate going fast? I wasn't experiencing palpitations. I was just I felt my heart racing. I didn't experience palpitations. I know that feeling in my chest when I get a palpitation. I didn't feel that at all.
Yeah, like for me, like when I had shit going on, it was almost like a thudder, not just your heart racing. When I had my stuff going on,
Yeah, you feel it in your chest
yeah.
when your heart skips a beat.
I'm not a doctor or a nurse, so I'm just going from like personal experience and what I was told something is called. Plus, my mom has dealt with this shit for many years, and she recently just got surgery.
Like a year ago.
Not even a year ago, for it to go away.
Do you eat too much calcium? No, I do not. I had a whole bunch of blood work done last night. My calcium was normal. My sodium, of all things, was low, which I really thought the sodium was causing all of my swelling. And it's not. My sodium's low.
I was shocked on that one.
I was shocked when I looked at my blood work. My potassium was fine. My calcium was fine.
Your doctor backs? Is that what you're saying? I am, LOL? I didn't know that if you are. Max heart rate makes your heart beat faster than normal because it can be many things, especially like anxiety, depression, stress, thyroid, which I experience all. That's from Munchkin.
That's from, yeah, I know. We were talking last night.
Well, Kathy was going through last night, she was sleeping and she was woken up from it.
Yeah. It was weird.
My issue was anxiety. We don't know yet what Kaki's issue was from.
And pregnancy can just cause your heart to beat faster because your blood volume's increasing and your heart is working harder to keep not only you alive, but the baby alive. So, I don't know. Because apparently Katie had gone to the ER too for her heart rate, and they just told her it's because she was pregnant.
What would you just...
Same hospital.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They told her it was because she's pregnant.
Does it go long? Does it go long? What go long?
Oh, I think she's talking to my mouth. Oh, you're pregnant? Yeah, I'm pregnant, and I'm on thyroid medication too. So I think that plays a lot. Yeah, she's talking to my mouth.
Okay, I thought you were talking to me. When I read comments, I always like, and I know sometimes you guys talk amongst yourselves, which is fine. But sometimes I'll read comments and I'll think you're talking to me or Kat, and I try to answer.
No, they were talking to each other.
So conversations kind of get blurry. Can I have a napkin, please?
Mm-hmm.
I'm done eating. That one could get wrapped up.
Okay.
Let me get this right.
Your heart rate can be up, but you don't feel palpitations. Yes, your heart rate you can just have a, I am not a doctor, LOL. No, your heart rate can go up and it races, but you can experience no palpitations. Palpitations are very distinct in what you feel. You feel like a flutter in your chest.
I remember the flutter.
I wasn't experiencing it. I felt my heart pulsing through my whole body. My whole body felt like it was pulsing.
It would have been funny if you were a Dr. Bax. Dr. Bax, you almost been like the bad guy from X-Men.
They gave you new meds. Fran, they upped my meds, so I don't know if maybe that had something to do with it. But I've been taking this dose for almost 2 weeks now, so I don't know.
Usually medication takes a couple of servings for it to start working.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just hope all goes well from here. Yeah, thank you,
hopefully,
Anne. I hope so.
Crossed. I told Kaki, I don't want to go back to that fucking hospital until Charlie's ready to come out.
Yeah.
But I also told her...
They did not take me in right away.
Well, there's a story behind it. We went to
Ouch.
labor and delivery. Did you say
Because
this
we
in the
called,
beginning?
yes, I did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
So before we left,
Our
stop
sister,
scratching.
our sister-in-law called.
She called.
ahead of
She's like, "Do you
time.
want me to call and see if you should go to labor and delivery or to the ER?" I was like, "Yes, please. Can you do that for me?" So she did, and she spoke to a labor and delivery nurse who told her, "No, do not go to ER.
Just
Come to labor and delivery." Was it Brookhaven? Hell no. I'd rather die than go to that hospital.
Brookhaven doesn't deal with.
They don't deal with pregnant women, so I wasn't going there. No. So yeah, I called labor and they called labor and delivery. Said to come there. Don't go to the ER. You must know, Donna. So from there, we got there, and I told the nurse when I got there, they said to come here. She goes, "Oh, I don't know who told you that, but just go to the ER because they're going to want to do all this other shit to you first." So yeah.
I got excited when we went to labor and delivery because there was nobody in there.
Yeah, there's nobody in
And
there.
I'm thinking they're gonna do tests and wham bam, thank you, man, we're
No.
gonna be in and out. No, 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 no.
She said, "Sure do."
Getting from labor and delivery to the emergency room was an Escalade ride.
An escalator
down,
ride down. Yeah.
going past security, and then having to give our license,
Well,
to
yeah.
security, which is normal. And
'Cause
we
they
sat
put-
down, khaki peed. They called her right away. I'm like, okay, maybe.
I was shocked. I was like, well, "That was quick," but
I
it was
in the
just to get
bathroom.
it.
I heard her. I heard Kathleen, and I'm like, that fucking name ain't popular. So I immediately got up and went to them. Like, she's in the bathroom. She'll be right out.
Stop.
And he's like, okay. And then she comes out and she dried her hands after washing her hands on her sweater because she's got handprints on her shirt. Huh.
Yeah.
So I'm like, ugh, fucking beast.
Well, no, because they have hand dryers.
She's
Hand dryers are
walking-
disgusting. Never use a hand dryer.
She's walking towards me and she's like,
I
that
wouldn't
was
even-
quick.
I wouldn't even touch the door handle with my bare hand. I used the inside of my shirt to open up the door handle.
I am in the insurance business.
So close. Oh, there you go.
I can't give any of this, but
No, he can't have anything. And I'm going to eat this tomorrow, so he can't have that either.
that you want to eat that?
Oh, I'm going to eat this tomorrow.
I feel like what I packed my dad versus that's probably better.
That's probably better than what he But that's a hell of a lot messier. He won't be able to eat that.
Want to come up and say hello? Come on. You want to
That's
say
what
goodnight
I
to
do.
everybody?
It's so gross. Hand dryers are the dirtiest. It blows fecal matter around, and no thank you. I'd rather dry my hands on my shirt that I know it's just my germs on there and move on with my day.
You look great. I am so happy for you both.
Oh, thank you, Jenny.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, they called me back just to give me blood work and an IV. It's like, gee,
They took a
thanks.
lot of blood from Kat
They
last
did. They
night.
took 5 vials just when they put the IV in. Oh, this motherfucker was feeling my arm. Stop that. He's like, I don't feel anything in there. And then he comes down here. And he's like, oh. And I'm like, of course, in my wrist. Right freaking here, they put the damn IV. And then they had to put a different IV in for when I had to get my CAT scan because they had to put the contrast in and they needed an arm vein for it. And the nurse in there was just like, cool guy, his name was Luke. He's like, yeah, vein right here.
He's
Why'd
okay.
they bother putting it in here? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, every time I come here, they like to put them in my hands and my wrists. I don't know why.
He was okay.
I liked him. I
He
thought
was
he
a
was
little
funny.
kooky. I like the other nurse. She was like very young and very sweet
nurse?
and innocent. The blonde that fixed your stuff. Oh, puzzle
blonde?
time.
The blonde that fixed my stuff.
Yeah,
When?
she was young.
Oh, the one
Which
that came in
of
to take
these
my vitals?
objects is worth on the head? What? Which of these objects is worn on the head?
What the I can't even see what it is.
I don't know.
Thin vein, poor thing. Some are not good at finding a good happy vein. Yeah, no. He didn't the nurse that I had in the ER, he found my vein 1, 2, 3. He was so good at finding it.
God,
that
you
when
look at
he-
this shit. Hold on.
that
I
when he
want to say
stuck
something.
the needle in there,
How is
the
someone
blood
supposed to
started
know
shooting
this?
out.
This is a TikTok puzzle to make sure they're not a robot. Hold on.
Which of these objects neighs? The freaking horse.
Oh, I can't see. And you were wrong. Which of these objects requires fuel? I just can't see.
I can't.
Oh, the car.
Unable to verify.
Which
I
of
think it's
these
time to be a-
objects is used for headwear? There's
A
upside.
fucking hat. There's more than one.
Well, I can't see shit. I don't. That's not right. If someone is supposed to be wearing glasses and they give you a puzzle like that bullshit, that's just not right. I'm ending it on that one.
Have a good night, guys.
Jesus Christ. What the fuck is up with TikTok?
They're on
What
crack.
do we do that people think would we would be robots? We do a live show every single fucking night.
No, it said which one of these neighs, my MILF. And I said, oh, it's the horse. But apparently there was more than one horse in the picture. That's why it was wrong.
I saw strings. I can't
Horse
see
doesn't
shit.
require fuel. Depends.
I can't see
Depends
shit.
what kind of horse it is.
All right, we're gonna go to bed, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for hanging out with us. Once again, we appreciate all the messages.
Yes, thank you guys.
and,
Appreciate it.
reaching out and support. That you guys give us every single night. Sometimes we don't always see it, but when we're not here, you make sure you're known. Like, hey, we know something's up. What's going on?
Yeah.
Makes us feel very good. So thank you for that. And you know who you are. We know who you are, and we know who you are not.
Oh, Jesus, all right.
Motherfucker. I'm joking. But we'll see you guys tomorrow night, Monday. Let's hope for a better. I feel like I got gypped out of this weekend. I really do. And Kaki's off like 6 days this week. I'm not.
I got the whole weekend off the next 2 weeks. I'm excited.
I go back to the grind. But we'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Oh, thank you, Justin. Thank you, guys. I appreciate every
Yeah.
single one of you. Thank you.
Yes, we do. Thank you, guys. Good night.
Have a good night, guys.
Ooh. Boom, 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 boom.